In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, be advised that a notice of this meeting was made by posting on the bulletin board in Town Hall and forwarded to the officially designated newspapers that this special meeting would take place at the Milburn Education Center at 5 p.m. on June 26, 2025. Meeting details and the direct agenda were also posted on our Township website. Please stand and salute the flag.
The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Collins.
Here.
Mr. Cosgrove.
Here.
Mr. Sacamandi.
Here.
Mr. Stoller.
Present.
Mayor Romano.
Here.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public comment. When invited to speak to offer your comments, please come to the lectern and clearly state your name and whether you are a Milburn resident and or property or business owner. Please do not provide your full address, seeing our meetings are recorded and readily available to the public. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit all to be heard, speakers shall limit their comments to 1 3-minute session. You will be prompted when there's 30 seconds remaining. A reminder that this is not a time for dialogue or to debate a matter, and this is a time during our business meeting for the public to offer comments. I will now open public comment.
Well, good evening. My name is Jamie Sruda, and I'm a level 1 Short Hills resident. It's great to be back here at the Education Center. Of course, it feels a little bit different to be on this side of the day as being a former Board of Ed member. I'd like to commend the Township Committee, in particular Ben Stoll and Craig Sacamandi, for making good on their campaign promises to approach the 4th round of affordable housing in an open and transparent manner. Generally a stark departure from how the 3rd round was mishandled. The Citizens Affordable Housing Advisory Committee held public information sessions, listening sessions, and really strived to understand what Milburn residents would like to see in the next round. And I think if we see many of those changes and many of those needs and desires reflected in the housing element proposed tonight. Frank and Ben ran under the banner of opposing overdevelopment, and I believe this plan helps safeguard our close-knit, small town feel while satisfying the excessive demands made on the suburbs by Trenton Democrats. I grew up in this town and I want to see it thrive and continue to be the best community it can be. But it's disappointing that our legislators who represent us chose to force the overdevelopment on towns like ours in furtherance of their agenda and party's agenda rather than representing the interests of our constituents. In particular, our focus needs to be on Milburn and representing the values of our community. Our state legislators, Alexandra Palazzo-Skill and Rosie Bogoli, chose not to stand up for us. Instead, they voted strictly along party lines to push inflated and exaggerated demands on towns across the state, including fully built out towns like ours. I urge all residents to be mindful of how our legislators voted on this issue and to be aware which members on the dais continue to support and receive the support for them. I commend Frank for speaking with Rosie and Alexandra on this issue and being clear and Ben's advocacy as well. And Rosie and Alexandra should be representing our residents. It's clear that they prioritize the party's agenda over illogical, what's needed in this community, and the illogical overdevelopment, such as the 100% income segregated housing dump project. Fortunately, we have leaders that we've seen step up and change a tune in the 4th round between Frank and Ben, and we need to continue this attitude and not give a blank check with our taxpayer dollars on contaminated land such as the dump and to for-profit developers like RPM. So I just want to be clear on that. And the focus should always be Milburn. Our representative should represent Milburn values. And that needs to stand true in the future. We can't allow what happened in the 3rd round to continue. So I commend this group, particularly the 2 leaders I identified, for standing up for Milburn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Pasternak. I was a member of the Citizens Affordable Housing Committee. I have to say that I felt that it was handled extremely well under Frank's leadership. There was a lot of input. We had some really effective brainstorming sessions amongst each other. The people that were the participants in that were all really tremendous, amazing residents with really good backgrounds. So I hope we can continue to employ that mechanism for getting input on all sorts of matters, not just affordable housing, budget, strategic planning, and other long-range thinking that I think our citizens are very capable of helping our elected officials in getting to the best and optimal solution. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone online?
No hands are raised.
Hi, I'm Trina Franco. I've lived here over 52 years. I want to present a different viewpoint. I think affordable housing, we need more, not less. I think having a diverse student body would be good for our students and good for the town. So I'm upset about this pushback against housing and development. I think we need more, not less.
Thank you. I will now.
You're going on.
Oh. Okay. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Jerry Kung, Short Hills resident. I just wanted to add a little bit add some color about the more affordable housing, not less. I think, affordable housing is a noble goal to pursue, but I think the way the third round was handled was, for lack of a better term, a dumpster fire. I think, agreeing to a 100% income segregated housing project on the contaminated town dump and, backstopping that financial obligation using taxpayer dollars, I think that was entirely irresponsible. And when you look at the breakdown for the costs, it's a $50 million project to provide 75 units of all affordable housing. When you break that down, it's $800,000 per unit. Now, I don't know about you, but $800,000 per housing unit, that doesn't really make any sense from a financial perspective. So yes, while affordable housing is a noble goal to pursue, I don't necessarily think that pursuing it at all costs, putting income segregated housing on a contaminated dump site, I don't think that is something that is right for our town. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it too late for me to speak?
Sure.
Hi, Diane Eglow, lifetime resident of Milburn. I wasn't gonna speak because I thought we were gonna hear what the plans were first, but I guess I'll just put my thoughts out. First of all, I think Dr. Kung should, in transparency, identify himself as Committeeman Sacramento's husband. I think that would just be appropriate. The other thing, I was always against the 9 Main Street as it was, but I can't see the town going forward with more lawsuits. It's too much money for no end. I don't really know what you've been told that you have to approve this RPM. I think it's a shame that you never went ahead and developed all of Essex Street as one contiguous plan. I know that was offered when I was up there on the committee. And I guess it's too late to do that because you have to approve this now. And I think, and I did say once, fight to the end, fight to the Supreme Court, but I think we see that it's not a winning proposition for Milburn. So I don't know if that's what you're here to announce tonight, that you're going through with it. And as far as contamination, as far as I was against the plan, it was 100% segregated, and we seem we have to do that. I don't believe the dump cannot be remediated. I believe that much worse things in this country of polluted areas have been remediated, and that's my thoughts.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I will now close public comment. Does anyone want to comment?
I do. So Ms. Aglow, I think you may be misunderstanding what we're doing here tonight with this resolution. This resolution tonight is for the 4th round of affordable housing. We're going to be approving our housing element and fair share plan that was explained in detail at the last planning board meeting. This has nothing to do with the 3rd round. It has nothing to do with the dump. Going forward with this resolution doesn't mean we're going to, give up on our litigation. And it doesn't really mean that, we've made any decisions with what to do about the dump. We are pursuing a number of alternatives, some of which we've already shared with the court. So we're still pushing for that. So I would not say that there's been any final decision made there, other than the fact that the legal battle continues. But
I didn't
for the
know
sake of
public
clarity,
comment was limited.
tonight is about the fourth round of affordable housing. So I think that's an important distinction to make. Ms. Pasternak, and Jamie, thank you for your comments about how this round was handled a lot differently. I think we have all seen that we handled the fourth round with a lot more transparency. We've had a number of public sessions. We've had our municipal planner, we've had our Affordable Housing Council, many of those sessions. I wish more of the public had attended the sessions, but nevertheless, we had the sessions. We had several by Zoom as well to make it more accessible. So I think that the end result is that we have a plan that's fair, it's balanced, and it allows us to meet our affordable housing requirements. It gives us a little bit of a cushion in case there's a challenge. So we have a good chance of fighting challenges if they come in the future. And it allows us to control our own destiny in terms of where the development's going to be and the size and scale. And we've tried to make it as fair as possible. And I think we've done a fantastic job of that.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll jump on here for a second. As Frank has, I commend everybody up there on this dais and the work that's been done, and the Civilian Action Committee on Affordable Housing's been fantastic. Couple things, Ms. Frankel, we believe 100% in affordable housing and doing what's proper by the families that are going to be living in those properties. We're talking about 75 units that are going to be segregated on a contaminated site. And I understand anything can be remediated, but 20 years from now, such as in Gowanus, as in Delaware, people are suing left and right because they're coming down with illnesses such as cancer, et cetera. So the financial deal that was done by prior, I don't even know if I want to go down this, sorry, I'm already there, by prior township committee members was absolutely abysmal. And I'll leave it at that. And the work that's being done today, like I said, everybody chips in, and a big thank you to our attorneys.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, a quick, I wanted to, first of all, this plan is, I think, wonderful. And I did want to mention that there were a lot of people involved in this, not just a couple. There was a subcommittee which Michael Cohen was on, Frank was on. Everyone did a lot of work. There was the planning board, there was the citizen committee. Transparency didn't appear overnight. It's been going on, the increased transparency. And there were public meetings of the Citizen Fair Share Committee. There wasn't a lot of people that attended, but they were on. Thanks to everyone who was involved in this. Thank you.
Yeah, I just heard Ms. Ecklow comment, it's public comment limited. It's not, certainly everybody was certainly free to talk about housing or whatever issue was on their mind, be that leaf blowers or whatever, which, whatever. But tonight, all we're doing is working on round 4, as Committeeman Sacramento said, has nothing to do with anything in round 3.
Thank you, and let's not forget Mr. Powell. Thank you very much for.
Absolutely.
Okay, so resolution 25-172, there were some changes made this afternoon and the updated copies are up front. Are there any, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say, so for the changes that were made to the resolution, there was some discussion about putting reservation language into this resolution, and it was included. I just want to stress that one, I believe that if you don't reserve rights, you have those rights until you win them. So putting an explicit reservation of rights, meaning if the laws were to change, we certainly could. But I think most notably, and I just want to make sure the expectation is there, the lawsuits that are out there aren't challenging fair share housing or the 4th round. They're challenging the calculations within that 4th round. And even if successful, this committee, Alex, Graham, put a lot of work into this plan, and I don't know that our plan would change, or following our vacant land adjustment, if our numbers would
be so different even if those lawsuits were successful. So I just want to put that expectation out there because I know there was a lot of residents and things were saying like we need this reservation language. But I think even without that reservation language, that this is a great plan and we've moved forward. And even if that lawsuit's successful, I don't know that it largely would change what we're doing tonight. And just for further explanation, the fair share housing element plan was already adopted on June 18th. It's already been submitted to what's called the program, so the state's aware of it. It's called an endorsement tonight, and it is an endorsement because everybody, is proud of this plan. But in actuality, it's an acknowledgement that the planning board has adopted this element, that we have a fourth round obligation, and that we have work to do to implement it. And just to complete this cycle, so this is due June 30th. So we're completing it today. It'll be uploaded to the program tomorrow. July and August are when any objections can come in. So for July and August, any developer, I'm not saying there is any developers out there or there won't be, but we'll know at the end of August if there's any objections to this plan. And they would either come from Fair Share Housing Corporation as the plan's not fair, or from a developer who believes the project should be part of the plan. Following that, from September 1st to December, the end of December, all disputes need to be resolved. And they'll be resolved through either a process of mediation or a quasi trial. And then any legislation that's referenced in our plan, any zoning has to be completed by March of 2026. So that would be large. And the idea was not to put the legislation forth until all the objections were resolved. I just want to give the entire process to the governing body, to the public who's here tonight. And again, our Fair Share Housing Corporation, now 5 municipalities, and I have to say that this township did a great job, and along with their BA and the planner, and I think I really commend them. A lot of hard work, and I think that again, the citizens group was a great idea, and I think there was a lot of good things that came out of that, and it was a pleasure to participate in those.
Are there any comments from the committee in regard to resolution 25-172, which endorses the plan adopted by the planning board? May I have a motion to approve resolution 25-172?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Deputy Mayor Cohen?
yes.
Mr. Cosgrove?
Yes.
Mr. Sacramenti?
Yes.
Mr. Stoller?
Affirmative.
Mayor Romano?
Yes. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?